What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is a giant thrift haul. I hit like the Mac Daddy load at the thrift store the other day, and I've been dying to give you a haul of everything that I picked up because it was just one of those days where you were just like, I knew it. I could feel it in my bones. Like before I even left the house, I was like, today is gonna be such a good thrift day. And I opened the door and I walked in the store and it was like the thrift gods just like poured onto me. I don't know if somebody donated like their entire estate and I got there before anybody else did. I was so excited to find some of the pieces that I found, and I am going to share them with you today. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Carly. Welcome. I run an online antique store. You can find a link for it down below. And I also live in Vermont with my family. We relocated here about a year ago and we bought our first home, and we have been decorating it and renovating it and doing tons of DIY projects and trying to make the space ours. And along the way, I have been sharing those projects and sharing all of my thrifting videos and all of my hauls and my projects and everything like that. So if that's the kind of stuff you are interested in, consider subscribing. I would love to have you. And yeah, if you're interested in shopping any of the things that I find today, I will mention most of the time if it's something that I plan to keep or something that I plan to immediately put on my online antique store. I do weekly sales over on Instagram. I'm adding a couple of new things to my sales this month that I'm so excited about. Actually, let me show you that first. So I got an incredibly exciting delivery today. I am working with a local apiary to source local Vermont raw beeswax, and I just got my first order of raw beeswax today. This is just like one little small box of it. I got actually 25 more pounds of beeswax over there, and I'm going to be making hand-poured, locally sourced Vermont beeswax candles in antique vessels. It was incredibly important to me to A, have fragrance-free candles as an option, and to B, support as locally as I possibly can. Obviously starting with the antique and vintage vessels that are all secondhand. That is an amazing step to support local. And then I also wanted to make sure that I was sourcing my wax from someone who was local as well. So I am sourcing from, like I said, an apiary here in northern Vermont, and I'm just so happy to be working with them. They are absolutely amazing, and I could not be more pleased with the product they're providing me. I'm planning to do one drop every single month on the full moon. So whenever there's a full moon, you can expect a sale of antique or vintage vessels with local Vermont beeswax candles inside. And I'm very excited about that addition to the shop. I have lots more plans for adding in handmade and locally sourced items into the shop as well. Once I get the candle portion kind of up and running, the next thing that I'm planning to add are beeswax wraps, all with secondhand fabrics that I've sourced. I've been sourcing 100% cotton fabrics for the last few months. That's going to be the next portion of my handmade items that are going to be additional to the shop as well. But for now, we're focused on the candles, and I cannot wait to share them with you. The vessels are gorgeous. Just on their own, they're beautiful, but then to have this stunning beeswax inside of it for a candle is just so beautiful, especially right now. We're getting into autumn and fall, and you're gonna want those like warm, glowing candles at night. Oh, I just cannot wait. So very excited to have that as an addition. Okay, so let's get into the haul from my last thrifting trip. I didn't actually film a thrift with me whenever I did this one. This is just, I only have the haul. I don't have any footage from the actual trip because it was like a busy day. So let's start with this absolutely adorable mallard. I love these. Whenever I find one of these, I will almost always pick it up. They actually had a couple of them. I left two behind because they were actually quite pricey for what I would consider kind of like a doable price at a thrift store. But this one was my favorite. It was the biggest one, and I just liked the colorway the most. I think the head on this is so gorgeous, and I just thought this was like the perfect addition for autumn and fall. I really like to decorate with things that you can technically have out year round, not just stuff that is like harsh Halloween or harsh, like, you know, pumpkin fall. I do love to have pumpkins out, but I also like to make sure that I'm incorporating pieces that could technically be out at any time. So I picked this guy up. This next one I'm kind of sad about because I accidentally broke it. It was in the back of my car, and sometimes they do it in these baskets and they won't individually wrap them. So unfortunately, one of these broke in transit, which, you know, it happens. These are so beautiful. Let me show you a close-up. First of all, let me get a little commotion for this basket. Like that I would have bought on its own anyways. But these are English teacups, and I see blue and white china really often. And the scene on these is just so pretty with the horse and the buggy, and the floral accents and the floral on the inside. I just love these, and they are stamped made in England, and it was a set of 8 and now it's a set of 7. But they are really, really beautiful. And I was actually thinking, now that I've kind of talked about the candles, I've been thinking about making teacup candles. I don't think I would do it with this set, but in general, whenever I'm sourcing cups like this, I'm very particular about what types of teacups I'll pick up, because they are one of those things that you kind of see all the time in a store. So I really want it to be like a full set, or have like a really beautiful scene like this on it. But in general, I'm very picky about these, and these ones are just absolutely stunning. And the blue is just like a really nice deep navy, still kind of, you know, still kind of indigo, but definitely like a deeper navy. Now, when I'm at the thrift store, I often will source baskets and then use them to transport things home. So I picked up this handmade vintage Vermont made picnic basket, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The top is made out of wood, and it is hand woven with these really gorgeous hardware on the side. And yeah, I picked this guy up, but it's full of stuff, so I'm gonna show you what's inside. I'm just gonna go from the top, not in any particular order. I've got these for myself. I'm so excited about these. I don't know who's been donating all of this stuff, but I feel like I'm just getting the same person's stuff over and over again. But I picked up this nightie. It's so cute. It has the ribbon, and it has this really beautiful lace detailing and all these buttons down the center, and a really gorgeous ruffle at the bottom. And it's in my size, which is just like not, you don't find that as often. These are gorgeous. So the brand is actually called Eileen West. So these are not vintage or antique, I don't believe. Eileen West, I'll have to look it up. So I actually got 2 of them. I think this is the exact same thing. They look identical. So I picked up 2. So maybe I will list one in the shop. But I got 2 of these. They are both size 2X. And I just think that they are precious. I have been really enjoying nighties lately. So I picked both of those up. This next one is so stunning. I picked up, oh, look at it. The pattern is so gorgeous, and the color, I just die. So I actually got 2 of these. There's this one and then this one. So there are 2 of them. One is slightly smaller than the other one. The larger one has a little bit of chipping on the lid, one right there and one right there. These are stamped on the bottom, made in the USA. This particular colorway and pattern is actually pretty difficult to come by. And I was so excited to find them. They had these 2, and they also had a pitcher, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not getting, it was like a pitcher slash vase. I often find these without the lid on top, just the bowl, which is amazing as well. But I was so happy to find them both with the lids on top. These are absolutely amazing for baking and letting your bread rise. Obviously the perfect lid size to put your dough inside and let it rise and proof inside of something like this. And yeah, in general, I just think that these are absolutely gorgeous. I'm always on the lookout for stoneware like this. So both of those will absolutely be available to shop online. In that same vein, I found one of these absolutely stunning, hey kitty, cat's trying to mess with my cord, stoneware crock. It has the lid and the latch, it functions. These are the perfect vessel for your sourdough starter. I have one of these in my kitchen and they work absolutely amazing, and they're just gorgeous. This is the most beautiful like biscuit color, and I am just obsessed with this. I'm always keeping my eyes out. I have a couple of these up in inventory that I haven't listed yet that are the same kind of colorway, but they're always much smaller. This is the biggest one that I've ever sourced that had all of the mechanisms involved, like the lid and the latch, everything functioning. Such a pretty piece. Next, I have this really gorgeous piece of enamelware that is this beautiful blue with brass detailing and brass handles. It is made in Japan, I believe, made in Thailand. And I just love the color. The inside is white and there's that brass detailing around the top. And I think this is absolutely stunning. A piece like this out on your range, just sitting out. You know how you like to sometimes have like a tea kettle or like a copper pot? I feel like this one would be so pretty just because of all of this gorgeous detailing. I love this color. I could like eat it. It's so pretty. Oh, next I picked up this gorgeous decanter. It has the like dimples imprinted or impressed in on the sides down here, and it just adds such a beautiful point of interest to this. Same with this large round top stopper. Oh, and it's the glass one. This is seriously stunning. I cannot get enough of this. I love decanters. I use them for everything from like dish soap to laundry soap to oils, obviously alcohol, but it has so many uses and they're just beautiful, even just out on shelves with nothing in them. They are just stunning. And like I said, the imprinting down here, this little like dimple situation, I'm obsessed. So I got this one. This one's so pretty. Oh, I love it so much. I also picked up this one. Are you kidding me? She's so stunning. I'm obsessed. Very, very heavy. And the two together, I mean, I love these. They're so gorgeous. This one, for obvious reasons. Even the stopper has the like flat sides to it. Sorry for that squeak, but it's just beautiful and it just feels good. I would love to have this in the kitchen filled with, I think I would use this one for soap, just so I could like touch it all the time, like pour my soap out, or olive oil, or like balsamic, like a rosemary infused oil or something, and like put rosemary sprigs in there. Obviously, I picked that up. Oh yeah. There was actually another stoneware that had the lid as well. This one is pretty. I love, it's almost like scalloped around the top and the bottom, and the colorway, absolutely gorgeous. Obviously any time of year, but specifically right now for fall and for autumn, it has the USA stamp on the bottom, and it is just beautiful. I like this one paired with those other ones, and like the duck. Oh, the color palette is giving such good autumn vibes. So I keep saying that, I obviously picked that up. Obviously I picked this up. And just for a size comparison, this one is slightly smaller than the smaller one of these two that I got. So it's just ever so slightly a little bit smaller, not so much. They're almost exactly the same. So just for reference. Man, there are some bangers in here. This is so pretty. Look at this. I don't know that I've ever seen a teapot with a hole down the middle like that. And I'm in love. It's so pretty. It's incredibly light, like it's almost like faded. I love the pattern that is on this one. It's really, really gorgeous and very like natural and organic and very whimsical. And I just think it adds a nice little mix up. Like I love teapots and I love the look of English teapots, but I just think it's so fun to mix in something that has more of like a chinoiserie feeling to it. And I think this piece is perfect. It just adds that bit of interest with the interesting shape to it as well. And the handle is just gorgeous. So I love that piece. I actually think there's another one in here somewhere. I think I got two teapots. This next piece is so beautiful, and I have plans to include it in my candle sale as an antique vessel. Look at how beautiful it is on camera. The way the light catches the gold. Are you kidding me? It's so pretty. That crystal is just gorgeous. This is an antique candy dish, and it is crystal with the gold gilding, and it is just beautiful. Can you imagine this with a candle in it lit up at night? Oh, I love it so much. The scalloping along this lid is just stunning. Stunning. I love that piece. Okay, keeping things in order. This is kind of a random one, but I feel like worth mentioning. This is a vintage Adirondack, 100% made in USA Christmas sweater. I just had to pick it up because it is so slouchy and comfy, but it is this, I think it's a 2X, no, just an extra large Christmas sweater. Look at how freaking cute that is. The colorway on it is just really, really beautiful too. The antique, or sorry, vintage kind of colors like that. Just very classic New England sweater. I'm already starting to source stuff for Christmas. I'm not so sure if I'll be giving this to the store or if I'm gonna keep it for myself. It is my size, so I might wear it a couple times and then maybe put it in a sale, but I'm not sure. But I really, really love that piece. And I feel like as a mid-sized to plus-size person, I always struggle to find Christmas sweaters or vintage sweaters in general that are my size. I always shop the men's section if I want like an oversized sweater look, because obviously women's sweaters are more fitted, but even if it is like an oversized women's sweater, rarely do they like fit, you know what I mean? But this one I really, really like. Next is this beautiful print. It says helpful herbs, flowers, and insects for the vegetable garden. And then obviously it has all of the names of all of the different creatures and vegetables that are on the picture. And I just think this is so stinking cute. This would be adorable in a kid's room or in a classroom or in a kitchen. Obviously it would be really beautiful too. I just thought that that print was really, really special. I haven't seen a print like that before. It's in this frame that I don't think is anything to write home about. So I might reframe it or just sell the print by itself. Because frankly, I think it would be really cute, like even without a frame, but I definitely have frames that are much cuter than the black one, but I had to buy it for the print no less. This one is one of my absolute favorites. It has this beautiful twisted wicker handle, and then obviously the rest of the glass bottle is surrounded by wicker, and I love the texture that this adds to literally any room. This is the type of piece that you can put into any room: bathroom, living room, kitchen, bedroom, entryway, hallway, like whatever, office, whatever it is, you can put this in there and it will add a nice little element of texture that you probably don't have in the room. And I like that it's not just wicker. I like that there's this little peak of glass because the two textures are so opposite. This one is so rough and bumpy and like obviously opaque. You can't see through it, whereas the glass is smooth. You can see right through it. It's reflective of light, and the handle adds such a nice interest. Obviously the shape of it. This is the type of piece that I will always pick up if I find something like this because it is so multifunctional and really, really stunning. So I was really excited to come across this guy. If you have been following me for any amount of time, you will not be surprised that I picked up an antique spoon. Look at the shape of this spoon. Are you freaking kidding me? That is gorgeous. I love this one. I love that it has the angle as well as the kind of scoop in the middle. And then I also picked up a taper candlestick because when you see taper candlesticks at the thrift store, always buy them. Don't second guess it. They are like a quarter at the thrift store, or I think mine might be 50 cents there. I always pick them up because I always need taper candlesticks. So I picked those two little pieces up. I remember when they were packing my stuff up, I felt really bad because it was just a lot of glassware. And as I'm unpacking it, I am reliving my excitement when I was at the thrift store for how much just beautiful glassware there was. Sometimes it's really hit or miss. The thrift store is one of those places where you just never know what you're gonna get. You might walk in and find absolute duds and not see anything. And you might have days like this where you walk in and it's just like bangers left and right. I mean, come on with these gorgeous bottles. This crystalware is just unbelievable. Look at the shape of this. I have bottles like this. I feel like this is a good example of just like what is more common and less common at the thrift store. This shape, the elegance, the point, the lines, less common. This is also less common. I don't often purchase things that are like incredibly common at the thrift store because I want to bring you a curated selection of really unique goods. So this one is unique in the sense that it came with two pieces as well as this really gorgeous silver caddy. But as you can see, This is a flat top. Finding bottles like this with a flat top is much more common than finding a bottle with this gorgeous point to it. This shape in general, this like very wide butt, like almost like wide bellied shape is also a little less common. Having something that's a little more tapered is going to be more common. But like this set in general, less common. This shape, if I had this set with this on it, even less common. So that's just like a small example of what I keep my eye out for. I know sometimes people are like, I go to the thrift store and I don't find anything, or like nothing seems special, or like it just doesn't occur to me that something could look like that way in my house or whatever. This is something you can keep an eye out for, especially if you're somebody who is interested in opening your own shop and like being a reseller or like curating collections for people. This is something that I would say keep your eye out for. If it's flat, it's probably like less interesting, whereas something like this, I like fell out on my seat over. And again, personal preference. It's all personal preference. That's kind of the beauty of thrifting in general. Add that to the collection of crystalware over here. So another example of something that is way less common. I actually got 2 of these. I don't know where the other one is. This is the bigger one. I got 2. The other one is smaller. This has a lid. There's a little jar. I'm not sure exactly what the intention is for something this shape. When I saw it, I immediately imagined spices or toothpicks, matches, you know, the usual things that I want to put into little vessels like this. But the shape of it is just beautiful. I died over it. I thought it was going to be a salt and pepper shaker. That's what when I reached for it, I assumed that's what it was going to be, because the other one is slightly smaller. So I thought maybe it was like a, you know, a set, but they're not. It's a jar. It doesn't smell like anything. A lot of times people donate stuff, you have to clean it because you can tell it had something in it. This does not smell like anything. There are markings on the bottom. The bottom says CLCCO. Any ideas? Leave me a comment and let me know if you know what this is and what it was used for, because I don't know, but I love it. Here's the other teapot. Let me open it. One of my favorite things about this thrift store is that they use masking tape. They don't use stickers on their items, and they actually did use stickers for a short period of time, and I was like, why would you do that? And then all of a sudden they went back to masking tape. I was like, just do the masking tape. We all love it. Nobody is like, damn, I wish these were actually stickers, not masking tape. Okay, this tiny lid is stuck. Look at how gorgeous that is. I am in love with all of these little teapots. Somebody got there before me and they had 2 teapots in their basket, and I was like, those are really good ones. I'm glad you got them. We can share. But man, they were beautiful. But this one I think is definitely the most unique out of all of them, with the little elephant trunk and just the handle at the top like that is so freaking beautiful. Gorge. Okay, this is just a little one that I'm going to show you because it's like right on top. Beautiful. Beautiful bud vase, amber glass, hobnail. Oh, love this. This is like one of my favorite combos. I love hobnail. I love white hobnail. I think it's really beautiful, but I particularly am a slut for amber hobnail. And this one does have a stamp on the bottom. I think it says made in Taiwan. Made in Taiwan. Made in Taiwan. Love that. Love that for 1,000 reasons, but don't have to say anything about it. So this next one I picked up because I'm always finding these pieces as individuals. I rarely find them as a set, but I always find this particular color way and pattern on its own. So I always buy it. I actually have like 3 or 4 different pieces that are this exact print now, and I'm like slowly collecting them because I've never found a full set, and it is by far my favorite pattern. I just think that this is so freaking beautiful, and there's something about it, like this blue china in particular, that has my heart. So whenever I find them, I pick them up for my personal collection because that's just something I like to do. Here is the smaller one of the 2 bottles that I got. It's actually way smaller than the other one. I can't believe I thought this was salt and pepper. This one's way smaller. So again, the same shape, a twist off lid. Let's see. Wait a minute. Look at that. What? It's got a cute little... What? So these must have been for spices. That had to be a spice thing. And I wonder if this one is supposed to have, is this supposed to have a thing? Questions. I have questions about this. Because that is so cute. That is so cute. Why? I need to investigate. And if you know, please tell me. I'm thinking, do these go in like a situation like this, like a caddy situation? Is there like a caddy for this? Mystery indeed. This is why I love thrifting, because it's like, you just don't know sometimes. You don't really know what you're doing or why you buy it, but I wanted it. In this same vein, another piece that is the same pattern. This one is a little bit darker though, obviously. Same pattern, that's why I bought it. These next two pieces I picked up specifically as vessels for candles. These milk glass goblets are so stunning. So this one is hobnail with a little bit of imprinting at the top, very wide base. And this one has a really beautiful design. You can see it with the leaves and the grapes. Oh, that one's so cute. And then like a scalloped edge at the top and this pedestal base. They both are sitting on pedestals. Perfect. Beautiful candles. Can you imagine these with that golden beeswax in them, lit in the middle of fall? Are you kidding? Okay, I forgot about these. Oh, these are so good. So just like I find teacups all the time, I will always stumble upon mugs, because what else do people donate? Mugs and teacups. So finding some that like blow me away, I feel like is a real feat. Look at these handles. Can you tell how humongous they are? In comparison to my face, you can see, right, how ginormous these gorgeous mugs are. I died. There's no signature on the bottom, so I'm gonna look them up and see. I never buy pottery that isn't handmade, meaning like I want to know it's handmade. I usually only buy stuff that has a signature, because it's very easy to reproduce the look of ceramics nowadays. So I really want to look these up and see if you can like source them online. You can tell though right here, it's like this part feels hand done, but the handles are what sold me. And obviously everything else about it, the colorway, the fish, the shape, everything about these. So much intrigue to a kitchen, so appropriate for fall. This screams fall and autumn to me without being like, here's a pumpkin on my head, or like, here's a scarecrow. Like, this just makes me feel warm and cozy, and the colorway, ugh, these are gorgeous. So I was really happy to find this set. I've seen these a million times, but this one is super cool because it has the box, the original box for this cake slicer. If you guys didn't know, ever come across this at the thrift store? It's not a comb. It is not a comb. It is the Hostess Cake Breaker. You'll love the way it breaks cake into perfect portions. No messy crumbling of frosting or filling. Both frame and prongs have non-rusting chrome finish to last a lifetime. Made in USA. Anyway, these are stunning. Look at the handle. Look at that. So beautiful. These do work really well for cutting cake. I have one in my own house and I love them. They are so cool. They just look beautiful. Again, they add a really nice like little moment of interest into the kitchen. And this one comes with the box, which makes it like 10 times cooler. All right, this little set of candlesticks is kind of a wild card for me. These are not normally something that I would gravitate towards, but there is something about them that just like really spoke to me. I have been trying to, when I'm intrigued by something, like lean into it a little bit more and not be so reserved in everything that I get, because I think that when we pull back from stuff that we're kind of like, ew, like why do I like that? Is that super cute or is that so super ugly? I feel like we should explore it. So these might be super ugly, but I feel like in the right space, they could be so beautiful. Like I feel like they could add such an amazing shape that, you know, we love a skinny brass candlestick with a beautiful taper candlestick in it. We love that. We all know we love that. But like, what if these could be used too. I just couldn't leave them. I thought that they were too cool. The marble is made in Italy. It has the made in Italy stamp on the side, and then the candle bases are all heavy solid brass made in the USA. I just couldn't leave them. I just thought that they were so interesting. And especially like if you have a special occasion, if it's like Thanksgiving or Christmas and you want to do something a little bit like, I really do feel like these are good Christmas candlesticks. Like they're very ornate and hefty and just like demanding of attention. These two are kind of in the same family, so I'm going to show them at the same time because I know this is getting really long. Is there much to say about either of these? They're both so cute. This one is stamped on the back, Mallards made in England. I mean, everything about this is so freaking gorgeous. The colorway, the picture itself, the ornate decoration around the outside. It's tin, it's beautiful. Hang it on the wall, use it as a platter. I would for sure hang this on the wall, considering keeping it because I love it so much. I cannot get enough of this. I just love that piece. And then this one is so fascinating. I'm just so gullible and like such a sucker sometimes. This says natural slate, over 500 million years old. Like that can't be true, right? 500 million years old. And like I'm holding it with a little like horse and buggy on it. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I do absolutely adore this picture with this horse and buggy with hay in the back. So I had to have this little guy as well. These are so adorable that I can't stand it. So it's this set of two with little mice and dried flowers. It is signed by the artist S. Jervis, and on the back there is information. So it says Hallaton, Leicestershire, England. Wildlife study from an original watercolor by Sharon Jervis. God, that's a mouthful. Watercolor by Sharon Jervis. Real English flowers are added by hand to create an original design. So if I understand it correctly, the little mouse is Sharon Jervis's work, and then the English flowers added to create an English or an original design. And if that's not the cutest duo I've ever seen, I don't know what is. Yeah, 1980, these are from the 1980s. Made in England. I mean, shut up. These are so cute. This would be the cutest pair inside of a little kid's room or a little kid's bathroom. A nursery. Oh, kill me. These are so freaking cute. Enough said. This set, also made in Japan. This color is so unique in comparison to most of the stuff that I see. So this is not copper, this is not brass. I'm just talking tonal. I don't know about material. Tonally, this is not copper, it is not brass, it's somewhere in between. It's like a mixture. It's very yellow undertoned copper, and I'm in love with it. I think it's so beautiful. These little vessels have a million different uses. This one has a lid, and it's actually ceramic. So the base is ceramic and the inside is ceramic, and you can see the lid is too. This set is absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love. So many different uses. You can use it for what its intended purposes is, which is like cream and sugar. You can also use them as vases for matches, for candles, cotton balls, cotton swabs, brushes, spoons, forks, pencils, scissors, whatever. House whatever you want in here. Treats, little dog treats. Could not get enough of the colors, and of course the shape as well. This one is so precious. I would love to have this in my entryway with these little hooks for your keys. It has two little pieces of hardware to hang it on the wall. It was an original design by Santa Barbara Ceramic Designs. This is from circa 2000, so not, I guess technically, is that technically vintage now? For some reason, it was the day of the snuffers. I love snuffers. Snuffers are just like a classic, timeless piece. And this one has this really gorgeous twist in the center and then this little loop at the end. And it has the snuffer that moves. So that one is beautiful. And then we have this Mac Daddy snuffer. This handle is so super heavy. This is solid brass at the end. Again, a wiggly one. I really love the shape of that bell curve to it. And this handle is just beautiful. Then we have this snuffer, which I just think is so cool. It's such a little fat one, and it's very short handled and big, and obviously silver. That one's very cool. 2 more pieces. This piece is gorgeous. It is enamelware with the speckled design on it for butter. It's a butter dish. I mean, can you even stand it? There's no stamping on the bottom, which I believe is actually an indicator that it is vintage. You can tell it's been well loved around the edges. You can see a little bit of tarnishing around the edges. A piece like this is timeless, absolutely classic. This kind of print has been around for forever, and it just gives the best cozy cottage autumn vibes, and I'm obsessed with that. And obviously anything that will hold butter, I also am obsessed with. All right, y'all. Last but most certainly not least is this beautiful. I know I've said the words beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, lovely, amazing so much. Look at this bean pot. This color is everything to me. I love this blue color. I mentioned this in a couple of videos, I think by now, that I'm trying to pull myself out of the like beige, cream, all neutrals life, because it's never really felt like authentically me. I feel like I've just been overwhelmed and like confused by color, and so I'm leaning into the colors that I am the most drawn to, and they tend to be like primary colors. Like I really am loving all shades of red, blue, and yellow, and then of course I'm really enjoying some greens always. Like green is always one of my favorite colors, but this color blue in particular, I am just absolutely in love with right now. This one did not come with a lid, but that doesn't bother me at all. I use bean pots for so much. I use them as vases, and mostly I use them to store kitchen utensils out on my counter, and I would love to put this one out on my counter because it is beautiful. There's no stamp on the bottom, I don't think. There might be one here. It looks like there is one here, but it's kind of faded, so I'll have to look and see if I can figure it out, but I just love that one. And that is that. That was quite a haul, wasn't it? I know this is gonna be a long video, so if you made it to this point, thank you for hanging out with me. It's been so much fun. I love doing hauls after a good thrift trip like this. I just think that it's so cool to come across pieces like this, and I'm so excited to share them all with you. So like I said, I'll leave a link down below for my online antique store. If you would like to shop any of these pieces that you see, leave me a comment and let me know which piece you think is the coolest, or which piece that you have found recently that you feel like is just so cool and speaking to your soul, because I know going to the thrift store, it just like lights me up, man. It just keeps me going when the days are hard. But if thrifting is your thing, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can see my next thrift haul and thrift with me and all the other stuff that I do here on my channel. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.